Welcome back, Kuma Crew. It is, as always, your favourite friendly despair bat, Annakuma, and today, we're here for something new and exciting. Or, not really, nothing is exciting here, but it is new, kind of. So, as you know, I've started doing retrospectives. That being said, I've decided to change the name of them to Bearspectives. I wanted to do longer format videos where I can talk at large about the story behind a game, as well as the game in depth itself. I'm still gonna do that, but I feel like I'm just not smart enough to really make a proper retrospective, so renaming it to something silly and punish seems the right choice. That being said, there are a few retro games I would really like to make videos on, but not necessarily really long videos, or at least not yet. During the year, I'll play a lot of retro games, from old platformers to adventure games I either have forgotten, played a million times before, or never played at all. At that point, I will make a longer video for it, but not quite as long as the Bearspectives. These will be called RETRO-Specs going forward, and will just be longer format reviews of old games. So why not then start with 1995's DOS game Lost Eden. Heck, I even have an old highlight video of one of the many times I played it on stream, so go check that out. Developed by Cairo and published by good old Virgin Interactive, Lost Eden is an adventure game that sees you play as Prince Adam. Our mission is to bring dinosaurs and humans together to defeat the evil Morcus Rex.
Pretty, isn't it? Poor little Mungo.
Or well, dinosaurs and humanoids. Is it specious to say these aren't human? I guess the game is more progressive than I probably am being. Let me tell you though guys, for me, this is one of the biggest hidden gems I know. Honestly, so many people don't know about this game, and yet it is so easily accessible now, being on both GOG and Steam. I play it on Steam, and it works a treat every single time, so please go check it out. Depending on how fast you are to figure things out, it also isn't a super long game to complete either. I can breeze through it these days in like 4 hours, as long as I remember where everything goes. Then again, I've also been playing this game since the 90s, as it was a game my mum picked up when I was a little bear cub, and whilst there was a good 10-15 year gap between not being able to play the game and finding it on Steam, I've played it once a year ever since, so it is usually quite fresh in the mind. Back to the game though, and as I have already said, we live in a world of humans, humanoid things, and dinosaurs. We slowly learn that our ancestors are both the reason humans and dinosaurs once lived side by side, but also the reason they don't anymore. Our great-grandfather is known as the Architect.
Secret of Gra is here, Adam. He and your ancestor, the Architect, realized that strength lay in combining our forces.
He, along with a dinosaur named Gra, brought together both humans and dinosaurs to create giant citadels. The dinosaurs would build them, and the humans would keep them in food and help somehow? One generation later, and our grandfather comes along. He is now known in the history books as the Enslaver, and for whatever reason, he decided to destroy that bond between man and dinosaurs. He stole an important egg from the pterodactyls.
The egg of destiny, our lost inheritance, the symbol of hope for all dinosaurs. It was surrendered to the Enslaver in return for dinosaurs' lives.
Some mass from the ukulele, and just in general was being a certified dick to everyone around him. Having destroyed all of his own father's and Gra's citadels, their life work basically, he leaves one standing in Mo, which is the home of our family, where our father cowers behind the walls, safer than anyone else.
King Gregor, Adam's father, brooded within the castle's massive walls, unwilling or unable to see that Morcus Rex would never stop, until the whole world lay bleeding at his feet.
As for outside of Mo, everyone else has been left to fend for themselves. That is, till Prince Adam comes of age.
My story begins on the very day Prince Adam came of age. I had just arrived at Mo with grave news from the north.
All this being said, you have to wonder how well these citadels were built and how bad Morcus Rex must have been if one guy can parade in and destroy everything, especially as he seemed to destroy it all based on just hatred. The game never really goes too much into detail on any subject really, and you don't really see any ruins of buildings that would have been standing tall just decades before. It makes you wonder really what actually happened. Back to the present though, and as I said, our father is a coward. He hides in the last safe place.
You see the dangers which lie outside our fortress, Adam. Its mighty walls are all that stand between us and destruction. You must remain within the citadel.
Our mother and sister have both been killed outside of the walls of Mo, and our father is loath to let us leave and face the same fate. This is basically where we start the game. I do love the opening cutscene where we have Eloy telling us the story, as well as anything gets told in this game.
My name is Eloy, and I am old. These days, I'm content to look out at the world from high in the White Arch. But when I was younger, I traveled the world and saw many great wonders. And of all the tales I could tell, none is more wonderful than that of Adam, Prince of Mo.
Whilst I do love this game, genuinely love this game, if you want in-depth world building and characters with big motivations to do anything, you are looking at the wrong game completely. Lost Eden will tell you the bare minimum, but it kind of works, so don't worry too much about that. Lost Eden doesn't actually have all that much going on in the background. Everything I've just told you is the thin plot that it rides on. Most characters will say they distrust humans or drop a small factoid about you and your family history, but mainly just greet you, tell you who they are, and a little lore on their homeland, before asking you in various degrees of politeness to help them build a citadel. You personally don't know how to do it, so that isn't important. I've jumped ahead of myself though. First we need to even escape the prison that is our home. We'll go talk to our father, who is completely against us ever leaving. Eloy will then come talk to us in our room where he tells us to meet Dina.
The female Dina wishes urgently to speak with you outside. She has unlocked the gate to the side entrance so you'll be able to slip out without being seen.
Who has a request for us. Dina then takes us outside the castle. Yes, we aren't allowed to leave, but it is so easy to do, we do it within the first 5 minutes. Dina only takes us to talk to this old dinosaur, who is on his deathbed. He'll basically tell Adam to learn the truth that our father is too blinded by fear to learn, and then he dies in front of us. Yay.
Poor grandfather Tao. I loved him deeply.
We then come back to the Citadel, where you get your only real different puzzle. I'll explain that later though. Maybe. I don't know if I remember to add that to the script, so we'll see. After a test of courage, which basically is just following the path towards a loud noise, you'll learn that we've had dinosaurs locked in our basement, pretending to make the sound of wrath for who knows how long.
The trumpet was grandfather's idea. Moorkong made sounds like that. When he died, Tao replaced him with an iguana who blows the trumpet to frighten intruders away. It sounds like Moorkong is still alive. I suppose Tao was afraid that someone might discover the way into Gra's cell and destroy the secrets he left behind.
Who knows how they even survived down there, but they are here, and then we come face to face with this.
These are the frescoes your father refused to look at. Look, one shows dinosaurs building a citadel for humans. They built many. The tyrant had good cause to fear us.
thankfully Dina explains what this is, and thus we learn the truth of the architect. Even though Dina tells us that the humans really didn't do much, it is our great-grandfather that is the hero, and somehow armed with just a flute.
Now that you've learned the architect's secrets, I can give you his flute. You must use it to build citadels.
We now will also be a great hero. There are no blueprints, we have no actual knowledge that we know of, but having learned the truth, our father can no longer keep us locked up, because we have a flute. Not that he did a good job of that in the first place, we did leave once before with Dina. Now the world is open to you though. We have this really nifty map and will slowly open up new areas, but first you need to make sure you secure the area you have just opened.
And so it was that I guided Adam and his valiant band north towards the Valley of Shema.
We need to meet the local humanoids who will ask for our help. Next is to find the dinosaurs and use our trusted flute to talk to them. They don't talk, so thankfully Dina will translate for you. Yes, we might be the great hero, and we might be around dinosaurs who speak human, and therefore could potentially teach us the language, but alas, we never learn it. That being said, later on Eve, and yes, we will get to Eve eventually, picks up Dino language pretty easily, and however long the game thinks it takes me to go to another area to pick up Dina and return. She's called Dina. I don't know how I'm pronouncing her name. Either way, the game just lets Eve learn it, so we don't have to. We are the great hero though, so we don't need to learn Dino. Not only that, the gameplay loop on this never changes. Each species of dinosaurs wants the same thing. You do need to use the flute and have someone talk to them first, but when you know what to give them, it never changes. There is one exception to this, which is the weapons you get to fight with later, but most of the game is a very simple gameplay loop that when you pick it up, you'll be fine. Also, if you ever need an empty nest, our boy here will eat the eggs if you give him the nest. So yeah, give Thug eggs. I am being a little silly with this review of the game story. I do genuinely love it for its silliness and simplicity. It has the bare bones of an epic adventure, but nothing ever really gets developed, least of all the characters. Eloy's entire story is told in one small segment right at the end of the game. He's the first character we meet, yet he's the last to get any story. Most of the game he's flying away and returning to give us news. It's even more funny seeing he is our storyteller too.
And so Adam traveled eastwards in search of the Valley of Koto to meet the Kobu people.
Dina is Mungo's mate. We know this as she tells us offhand when we meet him. This then isn't expanded on at all, and Mungo barely reacts or seems to care. Later, Dina has a total breakdown over the death of Mungo, just to end up hanging out with these guys and becoming completely irrelevant to the plot afterwards. Yes, which is okay, because Eve, who we're still getting to later, learns Dino speak, as I said, so we don't need Dina anymore anyway. Doug here, our egg-eating boy, spends the entire game with us. He has no story, he is just Thug. As for Adam, he might as well not even be in the game. He is a silent protagonist that just doesn't seem to do anything. Things happen to him and we're meant to believe we're reacting to them, but the only clue that you are anything but a floating cursor in the sky is that you can turn around to look at your party and look, here we are, looking fabulous, with a flute somewhere on our body. Then there is Eve. Eve shows up as some weird mushroom butt plug thing. We're not meant to know she's a woman, even though the mask seems very feminine, her voice is very feminine.
A heartfelt welcome to you, Adam of Mo. I am Tulumi, leader of the Tamnians. Thanks to you and your followers, the Valley of Despair has been freed.
And there is no real hint that she's anything but a woman, but the reveal was meant to be huge for us.
At last, I am free to remove my mask.
Oh, he's a woman. Forgive the deception, Prince Adam. My real name is Eve. The Tamnians are a traditional tribe who would never have served under a woman. Only with this disguise could I lead them. They would have been astonished to know the truth. See what I mean?
Also by virtue of being the only female humanoid character other than this one, who for reasons I won't go into is out of bounds, just like fully out of bounds, she ends up being our love interest. I think it is hard to tell. Adam and Eve, very funny, very apt. We don't even get a real ending. We don't know what is happening to anyone. We just know that apparently because of the egg that our grandfather stole being empty,
Only the egg of destiny can reveal what the future holds for dinosaurs. As the one who returned the egg to us, King Adam, please accept the honor of breaking it now. I will read the sign.
It's empty.
Empty?
The egg's empty, Eloy. There's nothing in it.
it means the dinosaurs have no future and that's just it. Like, this egg is decades old and they wanted something to be in it and there wasn't, and they were surprised, and now the dinosaurs are just gonna roll over and die. Okay? Though if you find anything above funny, just wait until you see what happens to Morcus Rex. I will not spoil this. This is fantastic, but it genuinely will go down in history as one of the weirdest ways for the main character, well, main bad guy to be defeated. It's beautiful. Watch it. Play the game. Do it. So, you might be scratching your little cub heads and wondering how the heck I, this bear right here, could class this as a gem when I've just kind of made fun of the lack of story, character development, and said the gameplay loop is very short and samey. Truth be told, that's all part of the charm. Much like Shenmue's poor dub is part of what people love about the game, Lost Eden is a mess of things that kind of just work if you give it a chance. As a kid, it felt like a Lord of the Rings style epic. I loved that it had dinosaurs in it and never questioned anything. I was too young to do so. As an adult, I just adore the game. It is an easy romp around a fantastic world. The interactions are silly, but it's ultimately very fun to play. So let us talk about this gameplay. Like the story, it is bare bones. This cursor here is you. I love that it is a little cube, which makes it hard to lose. It will change to an arrow if you can move somewhere, or an eye if you can look at something, and then a hand if you can pick it up. Super simple, super easy to understand. Big and in your face so you can't lose it. We're already winning. As for the inventory, it is always there at the bottom of the screen. You don't really ever get too much to put in it, and if you know the game well, you'll be able to keep it pretty clean. At any given point of the game, your only goal is to figure out what item to give to what person. I say person, I don't think any of the people really ask for anything other than one part of the game. It is mainly about feeding dinosaurs, which is apparently all humans are good for anyway. To be fair on them, the Eulalie and the Castra do have a little more meat on their bones story-wise. We could get weapons to fight back from the Eulalie, but we need to find a mask that our miserable dickhead of a grandfather stole from them. When we encounter the Castra, they just act creepy and kidnap Eve, but give her back in exchange for Dina. It isn't until later that we find out that they wanted Dina to be their priestess, not something they apparently could have asked normally for. No, they just had to kidnap Eve and force us to and act like they were kidnapping Dina. Makes sense. Castra, please.
Greetings, Adam of Mo. I am Kabuka, leader of the Castra, and we claim your woman friend. She must come with us.
Even the final boss battle is all about finding what makes your cursor turn into this. And then, well, play the game and find out, guys. But it is fun to do. It really is a simple loop. It has the silliest of dialogue and the most basic good versus evil storyline. I don't think the game took itself seriously, and neither should you. Plus, in fact, I haven't even talked about Monk. Monk might generally be the true evil of the game, just as cowardly as our father is. He does some genuinely mean things to this guy here, just after our father dies. I won't go into it, but he's just a prick.
He said no.
You are mistaken, Monk. I think he said yes. He is indeed unwell.
Nonsense, Eloy. He never felt better in his life.
Adam, the poor man needs rest. He must stay here at Mo.
You see, he did say yes. I don't think you understand what he says clearly, Monk.
I am an old man, Eli. I can make mistakes, you know, and he wasn't speaking very clearly. Poor fellow.
I wonder if you can understand anything he says, Monk. I can't help feeling you played a trick on the poor executioner.
Okay, so I need to make a quick editor's note here, like a very quick one. It is currently 1 a.m. and I'm editing this, but something I noticed that I don't think I really did notice, or I have noticed because I did it in my playthrough. But another thing with Monk that is very good, and you might miss if you just go through this labyrinth and don't do anything but try to get through it on your own, is that if you ask him the directions, he'll give you the wrong ones. So you ask the woman because she'll give you the right ones, because Monk doesn't know what he's talking about. Legit worst character. That's it. That's the note. Thank you. On top of it just being fun though, it looks amazing. Now I get it, in 2025 this might be silly, but in the mid-90s this freaking blew my childlike mind away. It uses this beautiful 2D artwork with 3D models to give you this really surreal feeling. Walking around, you feel like you're in real places. The artwork on the characters is so detailed and beautiful, and then you have these derpy 3D dinosaurs that can get right up in your business. For a kid that grew up loving Jurassic Park, this felt like walking through the park myself. I love the dinosaurs, and whilst I now see how derpy these guys can look, it was magical as a child. Not only that, but the art style, the world they created, and the creatures and species that inhabit it make the journey so much more grand than the writing gives it credit for. Then we have the soundtrack. It is hauntingly beautiful, and whilst it is a small sample of songs, it sounds amazing. It again gives it that vibe of this epic journey, this adventure across this map. In some ways, it might not feel like it belongs at certain points in the game, but it always manages to elevate every scene. Somehow, all these weird little moments in this strange little game just come together to make a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Or maybe I'm biased because I have had that experience for 30 years now. Lost Eden might not set the world on fire, even back then it didn't manage to do so, but I do really believe it is an adventure worth taking, whether or not you're an adventure game fanatic like me, a DOS enjoyer, or even just someone that likes to play fun, interesting games. Even with no knowledge of how the game plays, I wouldn't say it takes longer than 10 hours to complete. Between 4 and 8 seems like a good estimate. From its diverse world of characters to its fun 3D mini-movies, it tried so hard to be an epic adventure, and to the eyes of a child, it really was. To the eyes of an adult, it's still magical to this day, honestly. It tried, it didn't succeed, but it tried so very hard. I have always and will always love it for that reason, and I'm sure if you give it a chance, you'll love it too. But for today, that is enough of telling you how wonderful this little game is. Please go check it out on GOG and Steam and enjoy this epic adventure. If you want to support this bear here though, then please feel free to leave a like, comment if you know the game or if you plan on picking it up, and subscribe for more bear-like opinions. Also follow me on twitch.tv/Annakuma with 2 A's at the end, where I play all sorts of games 5 days a week. And whilst I've already played this game this year, I will probably do so again at some point, so you might get to see me play it all over again. Till the next time though, thank you as always for watching, and bye bye.